I'm Dr. Hassaan Tohid, and today we are here with a wonderful topic. Research article is like a movie.
Before we begin, press the subscribe button and click on this bell icon so you get the notification for my videos every time.
Yes, research article is like a movie. I said that before in one of the lectures before, and I have also written a blog on that subject, and the students have found it very, very useful. Therefore, I have decided to create this video on the same concept. Because if you do understand this concept, research article writing will become very, very easy for you. So let's begin. Research article is like a movie. What does that mean? First, we have to understand what a movie is. And we all know what movies are. You have seen Hollywood movies, you have seen movies of wherever you belong to, whatever country you belong to, every country has movies, right? So you know what movies are. Let's talk about what are the essential components of a movie that you already know. Let's revise that. In a movie, you have a hero, you have a villain, and you have a story. So now, how is a research article different from a movie? So let's look at a research article. A research article has certain components. Remember the IMRAD format, IMRAD. So what is IMRAD format? IMRAD is the introduction. So yes, your first heading in the research article that you're writing, or any article that you're writing, is the introduction. Then the method, M for method, R for results, A is nothing, A is just an and for the continuation, and D is discussion. That's called IMRAD format. And this is a universal format for most research articles. Now, there's one more part that is abstract. An abstract is the topmost part. Usually you write it in the end, but it is the topmost part. So the components are abstract, introduction, method, results, discussion, and then the last part is the conclusion, and then you have the references. So if you remember this sequence, most research articles will fit this criteria. You will have the abstract, introduction, method, results, discussion, and conclusion. Now, let's look at each part separately, how it relates to a movie. Abstract. Abstract is the first part, right? So what is the abstract? Abstract is actually the summary of your research article. Yes, the abstract is the summary of your research article. Now, introduction. What is the introduction? Introduction actually means what is the problem? What is your research problem? What are you trying to explore? What are you trying to solve? Because research article solves a problem. So what is a problem? That's introduction. Then method is how did you solve this problem? Results are what did you find? Then discussion is what do your findings mean? The interpretation and analysis of your finding. And then the conclusion section is the take-home message or the lesson learned. And then the last part is the references, where you give the references of the studies that you have used for your paper. Now, let's look at this, how it relates to a movie. Abstract is a summary, right? So in a movie, it's the trailer. Every movie has a trailer. You must have seen trailer of movies on internet, on Facebook, sometimes on YouTube advertisements. Sometimes you have seen that on TV, of course. So the trailer, a 30-second to a 1-minute trailer of a movie where they give you a brief idea of what to expect in this movie. Sometimes they will give you highlights of the end, but sometimes they don't. And most of the time they don't. So that's the summary of the movie without showing you the end. So the abstract of a research article is quite similar. You're giving some kind of information to give an idea to the reader what to expect in this article. Now, introduction is the problem. So the first 15 to 20 minutes or sometimes 30 minutes of a movie, if it's a long movie, then 40, 50 minutes of a movie are the introduction. You get to know how many characters are there in the movie. You get to know who is who, what are the names of the characters, and who is the hero, who is the villain, and what is this story going towards? What is going to happen? So the introduction gives you the brief idea. So your topic is your hero. And the problem that you're solving, you can say it's a villain. So now you have an idea, you have a villain, you have a hero. Now, that's your introduction. Now, method is, how did you solve this problem? So this part actually is related to the director or producer of the movie. When you see the interview of directors, how did you make this movie? They ask, and then they answer, and they tell, we created this movie with this and this and this, and these were the difficulties, these were the challenges. So those kind of interviews, that's your method section, because you are the director of the movie. You are the director of your paper. You are the director of your movie. So that's your method section. So you know what you have done. You just have to write what you have done, how you created this movie. Now the results section is, what are the findings? That means the end result of the movie. So that's also related to the director. So you are the director. Since you are the director, then you know what it is. So that's not a difficult part. And in traditional review articles, these are optional parts, method and results. You don't always need them. You will see in many papers, results and method section are not available. So it makes easier to understand now. You have the introduction, you know the problem, you know the hero, you know the villain, you know where the story is heading to. Now the discussion is the actual story. Now your whole story have begun. Now you write down the whole story, whatever is happening, the dialogues, and you're moving forward, connecting one scene with the other, one scene with another, one scene with another. You're connecting it. And finally, you complete your discussion part. That means your story is ended. And then the last part is the conclusion. Conclusion is the lesson learned. What is the lesson learned? What did you learn from this movie or this paper? Now, the end part is the references, that what sources used to cite. So now, let's give an example. I'll give an example of a real movie. Let's talk about, for example, a movie, Lion King. So the Lion King advertisement before Lion King came, the Lion King movie, 1994 Disney movie, the famous one. Let's say the movie came in 1994, so for a few months, you saw the trailer that a movie is coming and the story is about a baby lion. So that's your abstract. Now the introduction, the movie begins, and you see the movie begins, a baby lion is born in the home of the king of jungle. And then there is an uncle, a jealous uncle who wants to be a king. Now he's jealous because he wanted to be a king. So now he wants to be a king. Now you have the problem, the uncle. You have the background that, okay, there is a king. Okay, there is a baby. Okay, and this baby lion is going to be the next king. And now this uncle is not happy. So that's your introduction. Now you know the characters, you know everyone. Now, forget about method and results now, because you know what you have done. So you can create method and results section because you know it better. Now let's come to the story directly. Discussion. And in most review articles, you don't need, as I said, if it's a traditional review or simply literature review, as we say, you don't need method and results. So in the discussion section, that's your story. Now the story begins. That this jealous uncle wants to get rid of the baby lion and he wants to be a king. So he hatches a conspiracy and he wants to kill the king and his son. And then, as you have seen the movie, whatever happens, this baby lion survives. His father died and he has to leave because he's exiled now. And the cunning uncle has now become the king. So the whole story goes further. The baby lion grows up. He becomes the adult Simba. And now he goes back to take revenge. And in the last scene, that's the conclusion section now. Now you are on the conclusion section. He now has a confrontation with his uncle, the villain. Now they fight. And eventually Simba wins and he becomes the king again. He brings the kingdom back to where it belongs. So what is the lesson learned? Greed is a curse. Honesty is the best policy because Simba was honest. He was a nice lion, so he eventually got what he deserved, and Scar got what he deserved. So that's the lesson learned. And now in the end, when the movie ends, you see the names of the actors and the singers, all of those things. So those are the references. You can relate it to bibliography or references. And now the songs. What are the songs? The tables and figures. These are the ornaments to make your paper look prettier. That's it. Make your paper look interesting. Imagine the Lion King movie without songs. It would have been a very boring movie. So just imagine this concept, use this approach, and consider your research article like a movie. Think of this Lion King example, start working on your paper, and you will see you will produce a wonderful article. Watch this video again, take notes, and start working on your paper. Thank you.
Before you leave, if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you.